Hey folks, welcome to New York 2263, and this is my rather large Fifth Element MOC, one of the tallest and narrowest buildings I've ever constructed, complete with flying taxi and police car and a whole bunch of other details which I'm going to show you. It's not based on a particular building, it's more an amalgamation of ideas and things from the movie which I've bashed together to create this huge scene. And to be honest, it's been really tricky to film it, as it's so big and I needed somewhere with lots of light to film. So I will endeavour to get some interesting views and shots and show you what it's all about. As I've really enjoyed building this, it has been a difficult task and I built it in sections, and this is the first time I've ever put it all together, so I was a bit like...
How was it?
when I first put it up. And I've been admiring it ever since. Anyways, I'm sure you're a fan of the movie. Not actually a lot of footage of New York though in the film, only a few establishing shots, but you get enough to get a flavour of what it looks like. And there's plenty of good still photos of the effect shots on Google and all that kind of stuff. So I had plenty of reference material, and that light, bright and colourful New York is what is so appealing about the film, rather than the usual rainy, dark sci-fi Blade Runner kind of looks of the future. So I spent a fair bit of time planning and thinking about what I wanted to include to kind of get it right. There's also lots of bridges, and there's the tan and gold colouring, signage and robots, so all those kind of things. I do have a wee nod to McDonald's as well, because that features prominently in the movie. I like these shots where it shows enormously low sea levels which have created this towering Manhattan. So you've got Brooklyn Bridge, which still exists, but it's really high up. Mr. Kim's Chinese boat is too big and complex to include, but I have included a Chinatown. I added a large Zorg sign on top as well. It's not perfect, it's not the right font, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a reference for reference sake, as it's an advertisement sign, as this building is actually a cinema and not the Zorg building. I love this view looking down. It's only on two 32 stud base plates, so not tons of space, but this New York is all about the verticals, very much so. It's about huge, tall, narrow skyscrapers and therefore narrow streets. The cars are suspended by these Technic bricks, more on that later. I used the Palace Cinema sign outside here, I think it works perfectly. And as you can see, the cars really are flying, no Lego support at all, it's just wires. Lilu here has her multi-pass waiting on a taxi outside, and I've used the movie poster signs from the Palace Cinema out here too. I think it's a nice wee detail. Police car is slightly lower than the taxi. I think it works better for the scene like that. The lower levels have some ornate gold greebling on the buildings, like many of the fancy buildings that appear in the movie. Got a wee garage with fuel and robots to fuss over your flying car. There are lots of robots dotted about, even R2-D2 is paying a visit to the city. Fancy street lamps, the bridge, and instead of a road in the middle, there's just this channel of pipes and sewers and electrical gubbins. I figured as there's no longer wheeled vehicles, the city would just use this space for things like that. There wouldn't be any roads. On the corner is Chinatown or Koreatown, Japanese Town, Oriental Town. It's not specific because I've mixed up Ninjago signs with Chinese ones and Japanese ones as well, so it's a bit bonkers. But I wanted to include something like this instead of Mr. Kim's Chinese boat. I think it's cool to have some kind of Chinatown in New York as well. It's famous for it. Like I said, it has been tricky to film and do it justice, as I can't get it all in the frame as it's just so tall. But I am happy with it. I think it's a good likeness of New York in the movie, which I absolutely love this film. I watched it twice when building this and I forget how good it is. I had to bring the MOC into the LEGO City room as I have nowhere light enough and with enough space to film this, so it looks a wee bit weird surrounded by these other buildings, but it kind of works actually alongside those. Now, I will go into a wee bit more detail as there are some interesting things to show you. Before that, these are incredible custom minifigures gifted to me by Minifigs and Me. They have an amazing range, and this Lilu figure is just amazing. The print quality is second to none. The details, the arm printing in particular, it's great. This outfit is what she wears throughout the film, but not when the taxi chase comes, so I have her waiting on a taxi at my cinema instead. Check out Minifigs and Me for their brilliant selection of custom printed figures and lots more. Corbin Dallas is inside the cab. I originally made my own figure with an orange torso and black trousers. It's the best I could come up with. But look at the difference. The Minifigs and Me one is perfect. Looks exactly like a LEGO version of Bruce Willis as Corbin, and the printing on the vest is outstanding. I can't believe how good it is. It's a shame he's stuck inside a taxi and you can't see him. The police car, however, does have a figure I made myself, and I'm quite proud of my attempt using a welding helmet for the police officer. And this Space Ranger outfit, I think he looks pretty good. The interior of the police car is pretty detailed too. I think I did a good job, even if I do say so myself. Anyways, back to the build. This bottom corner actually started life as the deli shop facade from a Spider-Man set that I've repurposed. That figure there is Axel from Nexo Knights. I used the comic shop build from the 2017 Ninjago City, and I've used the Galador signs in the doorway and other signs. Lots of the doorways are replaced with oriental ones from Ninjago sets. Same with those neon signs too. They look pretty futuristic though, so it kind of works. Random dentist sign from Assembly Square. I can't remember the red dragon head from a set from ages ago. The top bit is a restaurant, chef in there as well, and it's like a drive-through. You kind of hover out there and place your order and get your Chinese food. And above that, another fancy bit of rooftop from Ninjago City, and the Nexo Knights Merlin sign is there just because it looks like a kind of 3D digital advert. I think it's pretty successful. I like the narrow hodgepodge look, it's cool. Down on the street, I reused the railings from Ninjago City as well and added a few more signs. The ATM is from the Spider-Man set too, and there's lots of pipes and lightsaber greebling. I think it's an effective use of it all. It looks industrial. On the other side, more pipes and greebling details, robots too. I figured there would be loads of them walking about in 2263. Then moving on to Joe's garage, I was going to make a vertical train, and I used a bit of the elevator from Ninjago City to do it, but it morphed into more of a refueling platform instead. I think it looks cool. And I also used the sign from Joe's garage, which is from the corner garage modular from ages ago, and I have this robot on the elevator there. Nice that it actually works too, it kind of goes up and down, so, and there's another wee robot up here. Got a wee snap-on tool drawer down there as well. When this goes on display soon, I will have a car hovering on here, getting fueled up. It's quite a simple scene really, I didn't want to clutter it up too much. The New York sign from the postcard set. I have a street cleaner here as well, she's got the same hair as Lilu. Tidying up a McDonald's wrapper, so I managed to fit in a McDonald's reference. And this sort of landing platform here is where I'm going to park the DeLorean when it goes on display as well. The bridge is repurposed from the Batman Wayne Terminus set. I think it's perfect for that New York look. Has a wee robot on there too, and a cool Godzilla poster in the cinema there as well. Standing back, you can see how narrow it is, which really is the look of the movie. The building is actually only 10 studs deep, but it's extremely tall. I don't actually know how tall it is, I haven't actually counted the studs or bricks. However, I will film it on its own eventually with all the other bits and bobs for a future video with no background, so check that out. And it looks cool though in the city here. This iconic shot from the movie isn't this building, but it's getting that sense of depth and scale is what I was aiming for. Ah, the police car is so cool. Speaking of cars, these two are crucial for this MOC to work. getting that curved shape was not easy. I've actually rebuilt both of these MOCs 2 or 3 times, and this is the best version I think I could do. All my own design. I've deliberately tried not to do what other designers have done in the past, although there's not very many other versions of this out there. And it is hard to get all the details at this size. I went for a Speed Champion sort of scale, and I think, you know, the side profile and the curved underside, it's a really important part to get right, and I think it looks good. Corbin's taxi particularly was a challenge with the curvature. The police car as well, tricky as it's more bulky, and there's a bit of limitation really with the Lego parts that exist to kind of get the angles and stuff. But I'm super happy with them, and as I say, I think they work really well. And because they're suspended, they actually move about, which is quite a nice thing, as when it goes on display, they'll look like they're hovering. To do this, I've used fishing line, which is extremely strong. It's tied through these Technic beams and clipped in place. Easy to adjust as well if you want to move it up higher up and down. The back of the building is a huge tan wall. Looks quite nice. I might put a big Floston Paradise sign there though. So I built this as a standalone MOC, but also as part of a collaboration for Edinburgh, where it links up with other MOCs to make a racetrack with dimensions portals on each end. So the idea is vehicles are driving through the portal into another dimension and carrying on with the race. This is my portal, so one will be here, but this will be on the other side and they drive or fly through here. The show is next week, so I'll be getting a bit more footage for a future update, and I'll hopefully get time and space to film this on its own and complete it with the DeLorean and another vehicle. I hope you liked it. I think it's going to be a big hit of the show, and I'll be displaying the MOC at future shows too, so let me know what you think. And do you also think Fifth Element is one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time, or am I totally wrong? I think it's great. Anyway, thanks for watching.